A big bienvenue to our fans around the world from Montreal, Quebec. Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
And folks, let me assure you that tonight's show is a lot better than JR's French. Sheesh.
Well, there's no question of that, King. These Montreal fans are ready to get started, and so am I. So what are we waiting for? Boy, what a match. Did you see that? Ring the damn bell. You can't let somebody get away with that.
I don't think the ref saw it, JR. And if the ref doesn't see it, it's not illegal.
I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars compete.
I know what you mean, JR. I don't think most people appreciate what incredible athletes these WWE superstars really are.
You've got to have some excellent conditioning to be able to do what they do.
Well, that's the name of the game, JR. You gotta keep moving. No dog ever peed on a moving car.
Oh, that's a lovely image, King. I'd ask you where you come up with this stuff, but I don't think I want to know, quite frankly.
Randy Orton, he doesn't seem to be too concerned about his opponent, JR.
Well, he should be. This one's not over yet, and you never know what might happen.
These fans can't stand it when he does this, JR, but I think it's great.
He's sure not going to win over any fans with that move, but I don't think that bothers him too much, quite frankly.
I don't think these...
Oh, for the love of... Open your eyes, Ref. I can't believe he got away with that.
Well, you might not like... Look at him, rubbing his opponent's face in it. I love it.
Well, this crowd doesn't seem to share your opinion. And quite frankly, I hope this comes back to bite him.
I might have a few years on Kelly Kelly, but fortunately for her, I don't have a problem dating younger women.
I should hope not. At your age, I'd imagine that's most of them.
Uh-oh. Come on. You got to stop this guy before he really gets going.
I don't think that's going to happen, King. He's built up too much momentum to be stopped now. Melina's such an amazing young talent, and what a rack. What a great addition she would be to the Women's Championship picture.
I can't imagine there are many things you could add Melina to that wouldn't make them better, JR. I can think of one or two right off the top of my head.
Yeah, and if I know you, King, you better keep them to yourself. This is a family program.
This is great, JR. He's really letting his opponent have it.
I guess he is, but I'd like to see a little less sizzle and a little more steak, personally. I think this crowd's giving these superstars a piece of their minds, King.
Are you sure they can afford it, JR?
What a reversal. What an incredible performance by these phenomenal superstars.
Did you expect anything less, JR? He's going up, JR. This could be big.
I've got a feeling that this has all the makings of an instant classic.
That's probably just gas, JR.
Well, I did have some good old Oklahoma barbecue before tonight's show, but I don't think that's it, King.
Can you believe we actually get paid to do this job, JR?
It's like a dream come true, King. Except when I have to sit here and listen to you drool over the divas.
Come on, JR. You know I'm helpless when it comes to puppies.
Oh, I know, King. And that's why I'm bringing a pitcher of ice water out here with me next time.
I think these superstars have a legitimate beef with each other, JR.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with one match.
I hope not. I'd love to see them go at it again and again. Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling. Oh, for the love of... Talk about having no respect for your opponent.
Well, if you've got a problem with it, maybe you should do something about it, JR.
This capacity crowd is solidly behind their superstar. Look at this.
Wow, could you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced commentary? If any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, you can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injuries.
And that's easier said than done, JR. The human body can only absorb so much punishment. I wonder if Kelly's doing anything after this match.
Come on. You're old enough to be hurt.
Her older brother, I know.
You've got to be in seventh heaven, Kingfish. It's not often we get to see Melina in action like this.
Rope break.
You know it, JR. I could never get enough of Melina, but I'd sure like to try. After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR, I think we'd better remind the folks at home not to try this stuff themselves.
This could be a pinfall. These superstars are in terrific shape, and that comes as no surprise whatsoever.
No kidding. If you don't have that conditioning, you're not going to last long in a match.
You sure aren't. And that's only one of the many reasons I try to stay out of the ring whenever possible.
I talked to these superstars backstage before the match, and I don't think I've ever seen competitors so ready to get it on.
And that's coming through loud and clear here tonight in this match. They're not taking it easy on each other either.
It's been said a million times, but I'll say it again. This isn't ballet. Ruthless aggression is the name of the game. He's obviously not feeling too threatened, JR.
Then maybe he's not smart enough to realize how dangerous his opponent really is. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears have been shed in that very ring.
And I think there's going to be a lot more shed here tonight.
No doubt about that, King. These superstars are going to leave it all in the ring. You can count on that.
So, how do you think this one's going to turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen here in the WWE.
But you've got to have a guess, right?
I might, but I'd rather keep it to myself if it's all the same to you, King.
I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's going to go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear end first.
And Lord knows it's been up there for so long that that would be no easy feat. Oh my, Kelly is showing us something here tonight.
I wish you'd show a little bit more. She's an exhibitionist, you know.
How could I forget? That's all you were talking about before this match started.
Well, I can't help it. I'm passionate about the things that interest me.
And it's been reversed.
What a counter! I know a woman like Melina's nothing but trouble. All's fair in love and war, JR. And I love it when this guy goes to war. Oh my gosh, JR! He's going for it!
The RKO! The RKO!
I think I see where this one's going, JR. I don't think we're very far from the end of the match.
I disagree entirely, King. I'd bet my Oklahoma Sooner ass that this one isn't even close to being over.
That's a pretty big bet, JR.
He's taken every advantage in this matchup, and it looks like he plans on...
Oh, man, here it comes, JR.
The RKO!
There's the pin.
1, 2, 3.
I'm sure these competitors have studied